Hey, Darryl, good to see you. As you know, I love working with you. I love that I'm getting to
Thank
know
you.
you. And part of that is reading the many, many tomes that you have already published, right? 8 books are we at, right?
We are at 8 books.
Eight
Yes,
books. And
eight
so
books.
one of my favorites, The Race of Your
Critically
Life,
acclaimed. Critically acclaimed by my
critically
family.
acclaimed by
Yes,
you and your wife.
nobody else.
The Race of Your Life, though, is
Yeah,
great, and it has one of the best nuggets from your dad. I love the story because this was after your adventurous, I say that kindly, year
yeah,
of your freshman year at college. And he
right,
said to you, it's not where you've been, it's where you're going. And you've kind of held that in your heart ever since.
right. So, okay, so there's a story there. It's kind of pathetic, but so when I got out of high school, I was not a high achiever in high school, and I went to the University of Iowa. No disrespect against anybody from Iowa or that
Yeah.
university. I looked very good in their colors, but I was just not happy there. And I called my dad and I said, I just don't like it here. And he said,
Yeah.
well, give it a chance. And those were a lot of words for him. And
Okay.
so so I called him back. Well, I started packing actually, and it's what I did. And then I called him back about a half hour later, and I said, I just don't like it here. He's like, don't do anything rash. So I got in the car and I came home.
I would
And
I
I
would call that
see
rash, though.
that's rash. Well, also don't give your kid a car at college in
There
the
you
first
go.
2 weeks. But that's a different story. So and I mean, it's funny when I got home. Jill's my very favorite wife. Jill's parents were like, "What's he doing here?" Like we thought we were done with
This guy again.
him. So anyway, I I didn't know what to do, so I went to DePaul for a semester. I went to Eastern Illinois for a semester, and then I finally made it to Indiana. And part of the reason why I was, not happy was that my three best friends in high school all had gone to Indiana, and Jill was still in high school, and I just felt like I was out there and alone.
Right.
And plus, when I got to Indiana, I was really I was a little indecisive about myself. Maybe self-esteem had dropped a little bit through that, and plus, I no longer had a bike.
That's a big deal. Yeah, you can't be leaving those
That's
things around.
that's the worst part. So I've talked to my dad about it, and my dad's like, he said this phrase. He said, it's not, variations of it. It's not where you've been. It's where you're going. And I took it to heart. And what he said to me was, it doesn't. You're not going to get judged based upon the fact that you went on the merry-go-round your freshman year. You're going to get judged on, what you do now. That's how you'll get measured. And then he also
Right.
said you get measured with a ruler. He was trying to be
He's not
funny.
wrong. He's not
He's not
wrong
wrong.
about that.
But so the point here is, Aaron, is that I meet so many people, whether it's through my video outreach or teaching classes, my client base. I meet so many people that want a mulligan, right? A golf term for a
Right.
do-over.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, and I think that everybody has a financial backstory. I spoke to one lady this week that talked to me about 2007, 2008. We got to compare our horror stories. And, she was sad about that. And then I talked to another lady that raised 4 kids as a single mother. And she was like really embarrassed that she didn't have, a lot of assets. And, and I was saying, like, we are where we are. We are where we are. And we have the tendency, like we've talked about, beating ourselves up over the past, but we are where we are. And then, we find a way to move forward. And I just think I think that's so important.
What's nice though, Daryl, is sometimes we need others to give us permission to stop beating ourselves up and move forward.
It's interesting. There was a quote on my TikTok page. As you know, I'm quite a TikTok personality now. No,
You
just
are a
kidding.
thing. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So there was a quote on the page about because I always talk about regret, right? So Frank Sinatra has regrets, but then again, too few to mention. I wear my regrets on my sleeve because it's why I do the work that I do. And
Right.
somebody said, well, just you expressing these regrets gives others the permission to express their regrets. And it's really therapeutic for me. I have to be honest, like
Good.
just like
Yeah.
getting that stuff out there. But as we get back to sort of financial planning, what I find, Aaron, what I always try to avoid is that sometimes living in the past prevents you from moving forward, even when moving
Absolutely.
forward
Right.
is in your
Right.
best interest. So
Right.
I am an amateur psychologist in some way to say, hey, look, we all have it, and maybe if I go first, We all have it, but as my dad said, we just we have to find a way to move forward.
Right. No, I think that's really important. And I think too, and you've probably encountered this in your financial profession, a lot of people feel like, well, I've made so many mistakes with my money, or they're embarrassed about it, or they feel like they don't have enough assets that they need, advice with it. And it's just, there's so many reasons that we hold ourselves back instead of figuring out what is the best way to figure out our future, especially your financial future.
Thank you. We all have baggage.
Yeah.
Baggage is not just for the overhead bin, as the expression goes.
It's just that one from your dad too, 'cause that's a good one.
No, I don't know. No, I don't know who that's from. But I mean, we all have it. We just do. We all have that, and I mean, I have a ton of it. I talk about it all the time. I just so yeah. But all kidding aside, when it prevents us from moving forward, if we're embarrassed to talk to a financial planner because we don't think our social security benefit is enough because we haven't worked enough hours, then it's a problem. Then it's a problem. Look, we've talked about this, Aaron. It's not what you have, it's what you spend. And as long as we can find some symmetry between what you have and what you spend, then let's let the past get out of the way, and we just can move forward more
Yeah.
easily.
Well said. Good stuff. I like your dad, Darryl. Tell him that I appreciate his chunks of wisdom there.
I will tell him.
All right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Aaron.
Darryl.
All right.